Take a ride with me. Vibe with me. One time for that east side. Okay, so there's this verse in my song that says, seen it all before I turned 13.
Living in a war zone, mama turned dolphin. Feeling for myself, gotta play the streets. Grab my burner.
It's a very real raw statement. And to be honest, I cringe at it. Like when I did the video and I had my mom in the car and the song is playing, and I didn't want my mom to call her. It's real life, but I never, no matter how low my mom or what's going on, I never want her to feel like her daughter is disrespecting her. But that's that part where it comes. You being real and you raw and you telling your story, but then you want to protect people. And it's like, I want to protect her, and I want her to not feel disrespected. I want her to know that I look at her and she's still my mother. But I have to be real if I'm telling my story, especially for others that are out there that deals with it and deal with the shame of their parents being on drugs and their parents being caught up in these streets. My mom literally lives in that alley. My mom literally lives on the street. It's her choice. It's her decision. Don't ask me why, I don't know. But that's her decision. And when I had her in a car and we were doing the video, I literally wanted to turn the song. But I had to chunk it up and tough it out. And I'm side-eyeing looking for her reaction. And I could tell she caught it, but she didn't react to it. And I don't know if it's the space of her realizing that it's real. That's one thing my mom always pushed us to be, was real. Be who you are. I got my ass whooped if I came home doing something that wasn't recognizable to my mother. You think you finna pick up something in these streets from somebody else and you bring it here, like they say, your kids, and she be like, I don't know where the fuck you got that shit from, but you better take it back. So I had no choice. Growing up, my father and my mother pushed us to stand in our truth, to stand in who we are. And it's very valuable to me right now today. So that goes back to those beliefs and things that they instill on you. All are not bad. I just had to identify and recognize what it is that I wanted for my life, to hold on to and to take away. And then without the ones that I no longer wanted, what was I going to replace it with? My mom was very vocal about these streets, what comes with them, how you handle shit. And I'm the baby. And so I'm the rough and rugged. My sisters are rough and rugged, but I was very protective of my sisters. My dad will always say, you have to, like, you come to my house and you think you're going anywhere with us, my dad gonna tell you, if one of y'all come back fucked up, all y'all better be fucked up. So I was very protective over my sisters, especially the one that's right over me. Like, she was my baby, mainly because of the molestation, of what happened. I do remember my sister. I don't remember the elements of how she knew, where she was, but in the back of my mind, I remember that. And so for me, growing up and dealing with the different things of, I had a body, I was more filled than my sisters. And with men looking at me like I was a piece of meat everywhere I went, it fueled back the memories of the molestation. And then as a teenager, the sexual assault things that I dealt with men that I never spoke to anyone about. I looked at my sister as she was like my Virgin Mary. I felt like I was tainted. I was damaged goods. I was tainted, but I'd be damned if I let this world take my sister too. So when it came to my sister, I had a different mindset of protection over her. I was very overprotective. Everybody that knew us knew that. Like, don't say nothing to my sister. Don't touch my sister. Don't look at her crazy. But my sister was my saving grace, and I just wanted to, in my own way, as a kid, to the best of my ability, to protect her from the things that I seen or that I went through. I didn't really know how. So it came out in the form of violence. You touch my sister, it's on. You say something to my sister, look at my sister. My sister feels some type of way. That one right there, it's on. Like, and that's what I knew. That's how I knew too. That's the only thing that I knew. I didn't know any other emotions other than anger. I didn't know any other behaviors to deal with conflict. That's it. So I try to stray away from conflict because I didn't know. how to handle it other than violence. So then it's like, is we getting in the street or not? And if we not, like, that's not talk. Because I didn't know how. Like, now I can sit down and I can express myself to you and I can talk things out. I know how to communicate. I had no idea how to do that shit. And so your child, for me as a kid, being caught up in that street life and parents being on drugs, and I gotta think for myself, I gotta figure it out. And I was, I guess you could say, the kid without the heart, because I sold drugs to my mama. And in my mind, I told myself, if you ain't gonna help take care of me the way, at least you could do this. That's what I told myself. That this is my way of getting out of you something, because you're not doing nothing. And that's what I told myself, and that's how I dealt with it. When then I would tell myself, like, if you're gonna get it from somewhere, might as well get it from me. And it was a means of survival. It was a means of making it, like, just needing to eat. At one point in time, I ain't making nothing but crime. I'm not the one or the two. Like, I'm out here just doing whatever I could do to make it. And at one point in time, it would mean only to have enough to get some more, give me a room, sleep for 3 hours, wash my ass, and back at it again, because I didn't have shit. I didn't have nothing. And so figuring it out for myself helped me to become this person. But in the midst of, as a kid, of figuring it out for myself made me very angry. So I'll tell people, like, people who I met, like, in those workshops and groups that I was doing and stuff, in my process of healing, I tell them I was the nicest, angriest person you could have ever met. Because I always have a smile. My mom raised me to have respect, so I'm very respectful, I'm very polite. But the moment you do one wrong thing, then that's when you see that I am the nicest, angriest person I met, because I'm a fly. I would fly off the handle. So that was a problem, and it all stemmed from the anguish of being out in the streets and feeling alone. And I didn't understand the words of my dad when he said, all you gotta do, until I looked up and I was an adult and all I had was getting out of camp, trying to find somewhere to go, because I didn't want to be in the streets. And I turned to family members that were not a part of that life, that my mom kept us away from. And I would ask them, this is another thing, like, my sisters don't know, like, I went to different family members and I asked them, can I stay with you just so I can graduate high school? I just need somewhere safe to be and I can take care of myself. And everyone told me no. I was 16, and so it threw me back out in the streets to where I felt like this is my life. Like, I felt like I didn't have a choice. I felt like no matter what I tried to do to stray from that, life threw back in it, and it was like I didn't have no other option. And for me, I felt like if I'm gonna be in these streets, I gotta hold myself a certain way. I gotta carry myself a certain way. Them streets will swallow your ass up. People gonna run over you. Like, it's 4 girls, we don't have no brothers, so we gotta make a fucking statement. And so, yeah, sometimes we cut loose. Sometimes I was a little aggressive, but I didn't know how else to be. I was not gonna be the one that's getting marked out. I seen it growing up. I done seen niggas get kicked in their ass and all kind of shit. And I'm like, that can't over my motherfucking damn body. It can't be me. I can't do it. So I had to toughen up. I had to grab my toolie. Like, that was my safe space, because I'm a female and I'm only so big and there's only so much I can do. But yeah, I want a motherfucker to think twice before they come my way. And I was the observing kid. Like, I'm the baby, so as a kid, I was with my father a lot. Me and my dad was like 2 peas in a pod. So I was always around the older people, and my auntie then would take me out when they did the lowrider shows and let me go low riding with them. I'm a baby. And so I was very observant, and I learned not to speak as a kid and sit back and observe by being around all these OGs and stuff. And so by the time came, I carried myself a certain way because I had been in the room with these people. And so, but I was very nosy. But I said I was observant. And my mama used to be like, get your ass out that window. Somebody gonna shoot your motherfucking eyes. Every time something happened, I was like, front and center, I want to see, I want to know. But I was a kid. I wanted to know, I wanted to see. I was intrigued by the mess. And so the mess of the people that I thought I was supposed to come back and save one day, and then until I got caught up in the mess. And so it helped my future life, because then walking around in the streets, I knew what to do and what not to do. and other things that I learned along the way. I carry myself a certain way so that the streets wouldn't swallow me up. And for outsiders looking in, it's just like, she crazy. But that was everybody, she crazy, or she this. But I had to do what I had to do to not get swallowed shit. And I came out the other side a little better. I think I'm good. I really do. Okay, so Max, I got a question for you. So Max is my lovely, faithful camera guy. I love him to death. So you sitting here, and I gotta throw you in it now because I'm just sitting here and I'm just talking my little life away. And from being around me, doing the video, doing other things with me, sitting through this, do you have any questions or anything that you want to know?
If you were to go back in time, would you still be part of the game? Like
Hell yeah.
You would?
Yes.
No matter what?
No matter what. I wouldn't okay, so for me, the thing is my mom, we wasn't so family orientated with our family. So these people over here became my family. And I remember growing up, my mom would keep us out of school and she'll tell our sisters they got a family reunion. It was our hood day. So those people showed me love. Those people taught me life lessons. The reason why I said I wouldn't change it because it shaped my life. It shaped me to stay grounded, stay rooted, to stand tall. It helped me be this beast, this lion that I wouldn't change. I wouldn't change it for the world. I love those people. I just know that now in my life, this is what I want. And so I know that what I want don't fit the reality of this. So because I'm walking in this, it doesn't mean like I regret this or I don't like this or I love them. I'm gonna be very honest with you. I'm gonna tell you something people don't probably say out in real life. If I could still be in the hood and still be doing what I was doing and all this stuff and get the things that I want in life, I'll be there. People tend to get out of it because what they want is something different now. It's not like, and for me, the reason why I say too, like, I wouldn't change it, or I know my place is to speak for like the real niggas. The ones who feel like, I'm not willing to be a snitch, I'm not willing to be a mark, so I'm stuck in this for the rest of my life. I'm not neither. I'm not no snitch, I'm not no mark, and I ain't stuck in it. So I'm here to be the face for, which is why I be like, in my way of carrying my section is the South Central CEO or the T3, because I want them to see for those of us who like really grounded and born and raised and bred it in it, that you don't have to take that out of your heart. You don't have to feel like I dealt with that, feeling like I'm betraying my homies because I want something better. So I'm here to be the face of that and telling them, because I feel like if you, now listen, I'm on my road to a better life. So whatever street rules y'all live by, I respect. I don't put me in that. But I feel like if you a mark and you willing to do what you do, you got a way out. If you willing to snitch, you got a way out. There's some people who look in the mirror at themselves and they pride themselves on being too real and too grounded and too from this, and this is what it is, that they don't see a way out. So I'm really putting on for those who don't see a way out, because I was there where I felt like I can't turn my back on the set. I can't turn my back on the homies. And sometimes when you want better, when you want something different that don't look like that, that's how you feel. Even, and I'm not gonna say that they made me feel that way, because they didn't. Because one thing I can say, even as like growing up, I have an older homie. One of them I have a lot of dads. I'm sorry, I got a lot of dads. And one of my dads, in that time of when I say I was trying to find somewhere to go, I didn't have nowhere to go when I was 16, he didn't even know this. I don't know, just out of the blue, because he had most parts, he came to me and he told me, I'm gonna give you the keys to this house and you can stay here. I never told him that I need somewhere to go or whatever. He was like, you can stay here, but I bet not catch your ass in here. So that I always had that, like, no matter what I did, I can't say they backed me. They never made me feel like shit for getting up, going to school. Like, I have homies that when as a kid, I didn't know how I was gonna get to school. We didn't have no money. They used to go steal cars and take me to school. They done been on high-speed chases just getting me to school. So I can't down my section. I can't down those people. Like, the love was genuine. All the choices and the decisions I made were self-made. I have my own mind, but I love them, and I want to be the face for all those real niggas that have my back during times, in those in other hoods, in other sections, to say like, I think Nip showed it very well. Like, you ain't gotta be no buster, you ain't gotta be no mark, you ain't gotta be no snitch to go out and do something good. And you don't have to feel like you betraying your homies or yourself to do so, because for some, that's what it be. It be that inner fight where it's like, shit, it's too late. I'm in it. I can't go back. And it's like, you can. And the best thing you can do is change it up and create a lane for those behind you, so they can have somewhere, a lane to switch up in. But yeah, those were probably the best. I can't. I'm not even finna sugarcoat it. You can think like good times, but I ain't got the energy, or I don't have the energy or the mindset for that shit no more. Like, I can't.
Yeah.
I can't do it. But yeah, I don't regret it. That's it.
That's it?
I thank y'all for tuning in with me. I thank you for checking me out. And this is Songs and Lyrics with T3 Benji, based off my song In These Streets. Watch out, look out for more, because I knew what I wanted to be. End up sitting in a pen, life exposed to the streets.
These streets.
Let me talk to him one time.
Can't shake it, can't fake it. Gotta tell you how it is in these streets.
Ride with me.
In these streets.
How it is in these streets.
How it is in these streets.
Ride with me. Talk to him. Ride
Can't
with me.
shake it, can't fake it. Gotta tell you how it is in these streets.
Ride with me. Just ride
In
with
these
me.
streets.
How it is in these streets.
How it is in these streets.
Whole team burn it up around me. On the roof in the bushes, cold scheme. I made it off a wall, it's God's dream. Drive-bys, DPs, sirens.